So a big topic of conversation with guitar students and beginners or intermediate players, or maybe even some professionals, is the way I'm playing, is this a bad habit? How do I get out of bad habits? What's the right way to do this? What's the wrong way to do that? And before I actually start addressing anything like that, we need to first understand what a bad habit is, because there's a difference between something being a bad habit and just being another way of doing something. For example, holding the pick. Holding the pick like this. This is how I used to hold it, okay? And it worked great until I wanted to learn how to hybrid pick. And I freed up that finger. And then I started dropping the pick a lot, okay? So then over time, it got to where I can hold it like this. Okay, now I can do pinched harmonics at will. I can go from a pick tapping thing up here back to picking and not have to move the pick around a whole lot. So holding the pick like this wasn't a bad habit at first, but then it became a bad habit when I needed to do hybrid picking, when I was learning how to do Hendrix stuff. And then holding the pick like this became a bad habit when I started learning pinched harmonics. Now I've got to hold the pick in such a way that I can use the fleshy part of my thumb to hit the string. Then it became a bad habit when I started dropping the pick. So I had to try to hold it in a certain way, manipulate it somehow to where I could hold it without dropping it. And success, I only drop a pick like once every 2 years. So, and that's not an exaggeration. I never drop picks. Okay, that's just one example. So before we start getting into, okay, this is a bad habit and you need to get out of it, first start to identify what a bad habit for you is, because this is very individualistic. So I tend to go by 2 criteria, okay? Something becomes a bad habit if, 1, it gets in the way of a musical goal. Like for me, trying to do pinched harmonics, the way I was holding the pick just didn't work. I had to reassess the way I held the pick in order to achieve that particular musical goal. So that's one example. The second criteria would be if what you're doing causes physical pain. I don't mean muscular pain that you get right here on your thumb from doing bar chords. That just means you need a stronger muscle there. And it'll get sore when you're doing bar chords, but it'll get stronger the more you do it. Your fingertips, they get sore from pressing down on those wires, so you need to get calluses. I'm not talking about physical pain like that. I'm talking like chronic, like wrist pains, and pains inside your hand, things that deal with nerves and tendons and all that stuff, because you got a lot of stuff going on in here. If you're holding the guitar in a certain way and you're finding that maybe your wrist is just hurting after every single session, then you need to reassess the way you hold the guitar. So take a look at those 2 things in your playing and see if you can ask those questions of yourself whenever you're doing something. Am I able to achieve my musical goals? And am I pain-free? So look at those 2 things, and then after that, we'll start to discuss more on bad habits, okay? So comment down below if you're on YouTube or on the website, either way, or you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, the website, all that stuff is in the description below. So ask away, and we'll make some more videos, and we'll address some of these bad habits. All right? See ya.